Mehmet Ogutcu is the chairman of the London Energy Club and joins us now from that city. Mehmet, good to see you. International law says that this is your land border and then the sea is beyond it, and a certain amount of that water from your land border belongs to you. So what's the problem? How come Greece and Turkey can't agree on their continental shelves and which parts of the Eastern Med belong to each country?
That's a very, very complicated situation, because when you talk about international law, which international law? Because Greece based its arguments on the United Nations Convention on the Law of Sea, which Turkey has not accepted and endorsed, like many other countries also around the world. And also the situation in East Med that we are now discussing are quite similar to what's happening in South China Sea, for example. So I don't see that only international law can resolve this dispute. It hasn't. In the past, we have seen that in the agency as well, a dispute between Turkey and Greece about the continental shelves, about the territorial waters. And in the Black Sea, there wasn't any problem with Russia. It has been resolved. But what we see now in the region is a disappointment, in the sense that there was a hope. We were quite pleased and hopeful that Turkey and Greece would sit around the same table, with encouragement from Germany, US as well, because Turkey paused its, as you know, offshore surveys in order to give a chance to bilateral negotiations with Greece. But what happened is that when Greece and Egypt, by their foreign ministers, signed an agreement, exclusive economic zone demarcation agreement on 6th of August, this again put everything down, because Turkey believes that it is infringing its own continental shelf, and Greece says also Turkish-Libyan agreement is infringing its own continental shelf, including that of Crete. So there is no way we can resolve these issues only on the basis of what one party claims to be international law. There has to be equitable sharing of resources. There has to be negotiation, because these seas are quite peculiar. You cannot be judging them on the basis of only one clear international law.
Sure. Do we know how rich the seabed of the Eastern Mediterranean might be in natural resources?
Well, I think this is one discussion, because it all started with the natural gas exploration in the region, believing that East Med is one of the new game-changing provinces of natural gas. But in this environment, when gas is abundant in supply, and also there isn't much demand, I don't think that this issue is about the gas and natural resources now. It's more about the sovereign areas of each nation. If you look at East Med, what you see is Syria on the one hand, Lebanon, the unfortunate bombing that we witnessed, then Libya, all fragile space. And if you have such conflicts between Turkey and Greece, then Egypt, this is going to make all the more conflicted. So I think the way forward, if you ask me, is still, as President just I heard, saying that we should perhaps have multilateral dialogue in this area, because Turkey and Greece was about to start negotiations, and then Greece took an opportunity signing this agreement with Egypt. This comes on the back of agreement with Italy. So Turkey, being the largest East Med nation, not only economy, military wise, but also in terms of the longest coastal line, has to be part of any solution. It could be a spoiler or a game maker. Therefore, it is essential that both parties, involving other multilateral organizations as well as countries in the region, should sit down around the same table. Otherwise, it is going to be more tension, more confrontation, which no one wants, especially in these conditions of corona, as well as the economic crisis and the geopolitical tensions that exist in the region. But we don't see an honest broker actually in the region. Germany tried to play this role. They were also quite upset that Greece, just a few days after agreeing with Merkel, signed up this with Egypt without even letting EU and Germany know about it. So there is a need to build mutual trust, which is so much lacking in the region now. I don't think we should put the blame only on Greeks, Turks, Egyptians. Each of them is trying to protect their own interests. So the way forward is to have a forceful, drive to sit down around the same table and have a multilateral solution so that Mediterranean could be a sea of peace and prosperity rather than conflict.
That is the chairman of the London Energy Club, Mehmet Ogutcu. Thank you so much indeed, Mehmet.